Influence is the ability to change people's opinions, decisions, and behavior and develop processes to achieve one's goals. Unlike power, the ability to force people to fulfill your demands, the art of influence is the ability to incent them to the necessary actions. Submission or disobedience to someone's influence is a voluntary choice of the individual and not a requirement of the law or job description. Influence can only be exercised on the basis of your authority and the respect of others. Listen to the 5 forms of influence in this video. Influence is found in society, organizations, and also in interpersonal relationships. In society, this is informal leadership through charisma, the influence of authoritative or expert people, public groups, or even entire countries. Interpersonal relationships in general are built on personal or social mutual influence. We all constantly influence each other, and we ourselves are under the personal influence of certain people, as well as ideas, phenomena, places, traditions. The art of influence, there is conscious and hidden. The influence that a person experiences can be realized or hidden from his consciousness. Sometimes we individually, as a group or as a whole society, condemn or deny a phenomenon without realizing that it has a great influence on us. It is in the displacement of our emotions, needs, and desires through psychological defenses that the potential danger of psychological influence that is not realized is hidden. In order not to live without becoming conscious and not to become a victim of manipulation and consciously choose only the necessary and useful influence, develop emotional intelligence. The art of influence lies in the ability to induce people to want to change their views, attitudes, decisions, or behavior without any pressure to do so. 5 influencing factors. The main condition for you to be able to influence people is that you have some kind of benefit that you represent to them. This benefit can be in the form of useful skills or life strategies that can be borrowed from you, love, pleasure, or warmth from interacting with you, information that can be obtained from you, fulfillment of some other important need, and an overall improved quality of life. How to motivate a person's psychological influence through the unconscious. The first factor is respect, reputation. This is an influence based on how people perceive our personality and what is expected of us. It is their established opinion of our character, life strategies, achievements, and failures, and attitudes towards people. As we know, first you work for your reputation, and then it works for you. Reputation is a powerful influence. A good reputation is long earned, but easily lost by one ill-considered act. Qualities such as genuine self-confidence or strong personal boundaries show a person's inner strength and poise and command respect. People who are respected are influential, listened to, and reached for and emulated. On the contrary, if you are known as a negative person, not in control of yourself, constantly dissatisfied, unreliable, or conflictual, you will repel people, losing respect and influence. The second factor is attractiveness. This is influence through external beauty. It can be expressed in elegance, grooming, fitness, self-confidence, sex appeal, and personal style if we are talking about people. However, attractiveness is also inherent in phenomena, rituals, ideas, places, works of art, or lifestyles. In general, attractiveness is those qualities that cause attraction, liking, and admiration in people. Attractiveness as an influence factor is especially important in romantic relationships and affects men more. From an evolutionary point of view, beauty and femininity are important criteria for the health and suitability of a partner as a future mother of healthy offspring. It's important to realize that the external attractiveness of people affects all of us in all situations, not just in a romantic context. We are generally more attracted to and interested in people who are healthy, beautiful, neat, and well-groomed. They're pleasant to be around, and people around us feel energized and interested. Studies show that we tend to vote for more attractive-looking candidates in elections and hire such applicants for jobs. This type of influence is traditionally used by movie, music, television stars, and various celebrity. Attractiveness is an important tool of influence. Anyone seeking success in one of the public areas understands the importance of excellent physical shape, grooming, and personal style, which will provide a presentable appearance and therefore interest, admiration, and influence. The third factor, communication. Art of communication. Communication verbal, written and nonverbal. It is influenced through the ability to listen attentively and interested in others, to express their thoughts in a coherent, concise, expressive, and persuasive manner, as well as to build communication with flexibility, humor, and goodwill. Effective communication strategies on the speed and power of impact can easily argue with the previous point. External attractiveness. We all know people who have made an impression on us and caused respect just by their speeches and ability to communicate. This is the art of influence. Properly constructed, appropriate, and diverse forms of communication help to effectively persuade the target audience, influence it, and achieve their goals. Talented communicators skillfully use empathic listening, open-ended questions, nonverbal synchronization with the interlocutor, appropriate metaphors, parables, quotes, and other speech tools. Fourth factor, competence. This is influence through expert knowledge, talents, abilities, wisdom, and personal experience. This type of influence is common among professionals in a field who possess knowledge or information and are able to pass it on to others. It is also a common way of being influenced by mentors, older family or team members, gurus, media opinion leaders, and other people whom others see as their mentors, coaches. Fifth factor, trust. This is influence through shared interests and goals, liking, intimacy, and gratitude that has resulted from a long-term relationship with a person. This type of influence is familiar to relatives, spouses, parents, and children, longtime co-workers, and old friends. For the sake of our nearest and dearest people, we are all willing to do a great deal, which means their influence on us is strong. I talked about what trust is based on in the video, 10 Reasons to Lie and 6 Positive Consequences of Truth. I left a link in the description. Ideally, it is good to be able to use all 5 influencing factors. However, in reality, even one strongly manifested influence factor can help in achieving a goal. All 5 factors, tools, are closely related, so it is important to improve each of them if you want to develop the art of influence. As an example of all of the above, let's look at the influence of the British monarchy in the world. Since the British monarch has no political or administrative power, the British monarchy is an interesting and telling example of pure influence. The main factor in the popularity and influence of the British monarchy is probably the reputation earned in the modern world for the most part by the recently deceased Elizabeth II. In general, the institution of the British monarchy, as well as other monarchies, embodies such fundamental human values as stability, dignity, loyalty to ancient traditions, conservatism, as well as rich history, splendor, prosperity, and grandeur. The British monarchy supports 56 countries of the Commonwealth of Nations. It is associated with the awarding of prestigious honors. The British monarchy plays an important role in the international influence of the UK, the second most influential country in the world. Soft power. Soft power as the reliance on the attractiveness of national values, culture, and foreign policy to achieve goals and increase the country's influence in the world. The second most important factor of influence of the British monarchy is the external attractiveness of the institution. These are ancient rituals, ceremonial and everyday clothes of working members of the British royal family, historic castles and palaces, famous unique jewelry and art objects belonging to the crown. All this attracts millions of tourists to events and places associated with the British monarchy. Communication is another important factor in the influence of the British monarchy. You may have noticed that the official communications of the British monarchy are extremely concise, restrained, benevolent, and almost never contain anything personal. They rarely touch on politics and fit perfectly within institutional boundaries. Members of the British monarchy who violate these rules lose their right to represent it. An additional tool of the British monarchy's influence is trust. Most people alive today have lived their entire lives under Elizabeth II, who was associated with service, duty, restraint, discipline, dignity, and stability. Thanks to those who watched this video to the end, do not forget to leave a comment and like. I remind you that in the next video, I will reveal a new topic that may be of interest to you. So don't forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates.